Hello and welcome to this video for Blackboard Learn. Today we're going to cover the communication tools that are available within Blackboard. Now we're not going to hit absolutely every single communication tool, as some other videos will cover those tools specifically. Today I just wanted to cover the basic 4 tools that you can use to engage students inside and outside of the classroom. And we're just going to overview them because they have pretty similar menus that you get into once you set them up. But we will differentiate between the uses for each of these tools. Now, to typically get to a tool as an instructor, you're going to go down to the course management menu, click on course tools, and you'll see a variety of options in that menu. Now the tools that we're going to talk about today are blogs, discussion board, journals, and wikis. We're not going to go into depth like I said, but we will go a little bit into depth as to how you might set up one or two of them and explain the differences. So just for clarity's sake, I created a content area called Communication Tools, and I'll click on that, and that will put us in our content area. It doesn't have anything in it yet. And I did want to also point out that in blank content areas, you might find a tools link like this as well. So you can link out to tools that you've already created from this menu. Also, you can look at more tools and access most of the tools that you saw in that course tools menu. For now though, I am going to just bring in a few tools into this menu and set them up as I go. So the very first one we're going to talk about is blogs. So if I go into my blogs menu, it's going to ask if I want to link to the blogs page or create a new blog. At this point, I'm just going to link it to the blogs page. That'll work for me. So I'll hit next, and you can call it whatever you like at this point. This is just a link out to the blogs area. So I'm going to just scroll down and hit submit, and you're going to have a link that looks something like this. Now as a student, they would come into this area. You might even have a description as to what this link is, so you can click on blogs, and now the students will be in the blog area. But since you as an instructor have not set up a blog, the students would not be able to access or even create a blog. So they do not get this button as a student. You will have to create the initial blog or blogs that you might use throughout the course. By clicking on the Create Blog button, the dialog box for creating a blog will appear. So once you're in this box, you can give your blog name. Maybe you want to do bios is a good one that I've done at the beginning of semester, just to get a little bit more information about all the students in the class, and they have one area that they can really focus their attention on when they enter in new information about themselves, and other students can see other students, and then you can really build some good relationships there. Now the important part would be that you're very descriptive as to what your instructions might be on this this blog. So, and that's pretty much true for all the tools that are communication. If you don't explain exactly what you want, you're not going to get very good results. I've found out that I bullet point things. That makes it very clear and concise as to what I'm expecting to get back from this particular blog or communication tool. So scrolling down in this particular blog, you have availability. You also have your restriction times. An interesting area is the participation. Now you can assign a blog to the course, so everyone can contribute to that blog. Typically I just leave it on individual to all students, and you probably want to deselect anonymous comments unless you really trust the class to be able to leave those. The last couple areas on this blog are the ability to index it in a monthly way or a weekly way. So if you're having them contribute only once a month, go ahead and keep it on monthly. If there's a lot more frequency in the posting on the blogs, weekly is going to be great. So you can also allow your users to edit or delete their entries, and allow users to delete comments on those entries. So a lot of this is going to be up to you as the instructor. And finally, you do have the ability to associate a grade with it. So if I go in and add a grade and maybe put 10 points on there, I can even set it so it notifies me anytime a student posts an X amount of entries. So in this case, it's set up for 1 entry. It will be giving me a needs grading status. And you can also associate a due date with the assignment and add a rubric if necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and just deselect these for right now. One note is, if you do associate any kind of grade with a blog, journal, discussion board, anything, it's automatically going to put a column in your grade center for you. So you don't have to pre-populate your grade center with that column. A lot of their information will automatically just feed in that grade center. So I'm just going to hit submit. And at this point, I just created a blog. Now you just have to instruct your students to go into the blog, and the way they would do that is they would get to this blog page through our communication tools link and click on the name of your blog. Once inside the blog, you'll be able to see your picture off on the right-hand side of the screen. A little bit lower on the right-hand side, you can see all the blogs. At this point, there's nobody that's actually participated in blogs since this is just a demo dummy course, and I will click Show Empty Blogs, and it will give me the other users in the course, and it also shows that they have not posted into their blog area. There's some indications as to what these little icons mean. You'll see them start popping up next to people's names, so it's going to help you manage your blog. But really at this point, this is as you as an instructor can use it, or as a student can use it, because this is your blog area. So for example, if I wanted to enter a post, I'd click Create Blog Entry. Then I'd be able to give it a title. It'd be super generic here today. And then I'll put in description. And this is typically where your post would go for your blog. If you need to attach files, that can be done here as well. But then it needs to be posted. So once posted, you have a blog entry. Now, how would you look at other people's blogs? Well, you go down to your More Blogs area, you find the user you want to take a look at, and you click on their blog. Once their blog loads, you'll see all the postings for that individual. So that's going to cover the blogs. If there's any additional questions, let's talk about those in the discussion board. The next set of things that we want to talk about are the journals. They're very close to what blogs are. So if I go into this journals tool, very same kind of thing. You want to create a journal. So I can hit this Create Journal button, give it a name. Maybe I just want to call it Reflections or something like that for the semester. Maybe you have a weekly journal that you'd like them to participate in. Give them some very good instructions and set the availability to yes. And then as you scroll down, let's get to some of the settings that are unique to journals. So again, you can index those journal things, but one area that's really important is you can permit course users to view the journal, because by default, the journal is only between the student and the instructor. So only the instructor can see that journal unless this checkbox has been selected. And again, you can select to grade that journal by clicking the Grade Points Possible button. Okay, so we created another journal. Now we have 2 communication tool items. Now I'm going to go back in my communication tools and give you an example of how you can set up that link to the journals. Before I started by clicking and creating the blogs link and then putting the blog in, well, I already did the journal in the journals tool, but the students wouldn't be able to get to it at this point unless I put in some sort of link to it. So going to the tools, going to the journals, you can elect to select that link to write into that journal. You can do the same thing with blogs as well, or you can just link to the journals page. It's really up to you. Since we linked to the blogs page earlier, let's go ahead and link to the journal page right now. So I click on the particular journal entry I want them to go to, I will hit next, and then I will be able to set up my link information. So this is the description as to what this link is about. I'll go ahead and hit submit. Now I have 2 links within my communication tools area. The blogs link will take me to the blogs area and show me all blogs, whereas this reflections link will take me directly into my reflections journal. So there I go, I'm in my journal, I could start my posting.